Kill you, motherfucker. You crazy? I don't know the fuck you think they play with. I don't play no motherfucking games. I'll fuck you up, motherfucker. I'll fuck you up. I don't play no motherfucking games.
Will a win over Canelo put you ahead of Mayweather as the greatest boxer of this generation?
Listen, I leave the opinions to everybody else, but like I said, after this fight, when I defeat Canelo, I'm gonna be on Mount Rushmore. That's where I'm.
Nobody saw the tension escalating this quickly. Behind the scenes of the first official Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford face-off, the atmosphere suddenly turned intense. Voices rose, tempers flared, and security reportedly had to move between two fighters from different generations who both believe in their own greatness. No one can say for certain what sparked the confrontation, but one thing was obvious: this was far more than a routine promotional appearance. Two enormous legacies were crashing into each other, creating the kind of tension boxing fans rarely get to witness. And when they finally sat across from one another, the mood didn't improve. It became even more intense. Once the cameras and lights came on, both fighters tried to remain controlled, but Floyd's expression told a different story. He wasn't there to clown around. There was no laughter, no jokes, and no sign of the flashy Money Mayweather persona fans have watched for decades. Across from him, Crawford remained calm, composed, and steady, but it was clear he was prepared to deal with anything Floyd brought to the table.
I said he'd been training every day for years, every day in boxing. I'm somewhere in Aruba, in the Bahamas, in Dubai. I'm traveling the world on my...
At first, the discussion was fairly ordinary. There was talk about contracts, negotiations, and the usual disagreement over who should receive what. But everything changed when the conversation turned toward one dangerous question: who is truly the greatest fighter of this era? Crawford moved closer. Floyd's body language changed, and for perhaps the first time in a long time, Mayweather appeared genuinely frustrated. It wasn't necessarily because Crawford had insulted him. It was because Floyd understands exactly what brought them to this moment, and so does everyone watching. The entire situation gained momentum after Canelo Alvarez suggested that Crawford was better than Floyd. One statement was all it took to send the boxing world into chaos. Crawford defeats Canelo, becomes one of the biggest names in the sport, and suddenly fans begin saying something Floyd Mayweather has never been comfortable hearing. Maybe, just maybe, someone has finally surpassed Mayweather.
Compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
And that's where the real problem begins. That is the subject nobody likes bringing up around Floyd. It may also explain why at 47 years old, he finds himself standing across from one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing today.
Thinks better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather.
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Once the face-off was over, the press conference began, but the tension never disappeared. In fact, it continued building. This wasn't the Floyd Mayweather fans remember from his old media events where he dominated every moment with endless trash talk. This time, Floyd was locked in, serious, focused. He didn't seem interested in putting on a show. Instead, he kept coming back to one subject: legacy. He wants this fight because he refuses to let anyone take away the position he believes he earned.
Mayweather Jr. is one of the biggest egos in the sport, so much so that he could not find a way to give Muhammad Ali credit as being a top 5 fighter and claim that Roberto Duran sits above Muhammad Ali, right? Why? Because Floyd wants to be better than Muhammad Ali. He completely redid his image when he became Money Mayweather to pretty much copy from calling himself the GOAT, calling himself TBE, right? Whole thing. Very disrespectful of Muhammad Ali when he was coming up, when after Floyd Mayweather Jr. wound up being at the top of the sport. So now that Terence Crawford has firmly placed himself at the top of boxing, and not just as the pound for pound fighter right now, many people are saying, hey, shouldn't he be considered one of the greatest fighters of all?
Meanwhile, Crawford sat on the opposite side looking completely unaffected. Calm and relaxed, he stared at Floyd as if he were simply another opponent standing in his way. But for Crawford, this matchup carries a different meaning. He already defeated Errol Spence. He already beat Canelo. He has answered the doubts and silenced the critics throughout his career. Does he absolutely need Floyd? No, but he clearly wants the opportunity to face him.
To have 70 fights, 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that
the greatest of all time.
Years ago, especially earlier in his career, Crawford would avoid giving a direct answer whenever people asked whether he could beat Mayweather. He didn't boldly predict victory. He didn't force himself into that debate. But that was a completely different version of Terence Crawford.
Yeah, so if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh shit, okay, I'm just asking.
Floyd
was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight though. Man, me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me. Okay. Come on now.
Crawford openly says he would defeat Floyd even at Mayweather's absolute best. That statement alone was enough to throw gasoline onto an already growing rivalry.
I have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you? Keyshawn beat Tank?
Keyshawn beat everybody. Him and Shakur.
How you feel about them not fighting each other? That's cool?
Yeah, that's cool. They don't need to fight each other.
Was there anybody ever...
They can beat up everybody else.
Was there anybody ever like that in boxing with you? Because not really Sean Porter, right?
Nope.
No friends in this business for you?
I think Tim Bradley would have been like that.
Okay.
I think me and Tim Bradley would have been like that. I wouldn't have fought Tim.
If the opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But you
Floyd, yeah, because I wasn't as close. Me and Floyd close now, but when Floyd was boxing, I wasn't as close with Floyd like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore, so that fight ain't gonna happen.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you? I think you got your answer. Nah, I didn't hear nothing. Is Floyd better than you? Some fighters say, even like Gervonta Davis.
Beat your...
Okay, that's a no.
As the reporters continued asking questions, Floyd's frustration became more noticeable. And it didn't seem to be only about Crawford's words on the stage, it was about what Crawford represents. A new champion at the top, a new benchmark for greatness, a new fighter being called the best in the world. And for someone like Floyd, that is not an easy thing to accept.
It's in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters, but yeah.
Then the media began asking Floyd about his upcoming exhibition against Mike Tyson. And let's be honest about what that event is supposed to be. Nobody is treating it like a traditional championship contest. It's entertainment, with 2 legendary names sharing the spotlight and earning a massive payday.
Now, all time, ending this interview.
Number 1, and the only one that he got at top is Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford is this generation guy, you know what I'm saying, accomplishing all the goals that he accomplished.
Matched up? How do they match up, Floyd and Terence?
Hey, I'm like this, man. It's going to be great because Floyd, he's about his work. He put in work. We've been watching it for decades, you know what I'm saying? Him coming out of retirement to do this fight. that's a win for the whole world boxing. Every generation from Floyd's generation to this generation didn't get to see the come. That's just like we never get to see Michael Jordan play, right? But we remember when he used to play.
But there is still one major factor that can't be ignored. The opponent is Mike Tyson. And if Tyson becomes emotional or loses his temper, everyone knows how dangerous he can be. Add in the history and apparent bad blood between Tyson and Floyd, and even an exhibition could potentially become far more unpredictable than expected.
That fans will watch for sure is you and Mike Tyson. How's training going, Floyd? Talk to me all about this as you get ready to get back in that boxing ring once again.
Well, not really training right now.
Not yet.
You know, the fight is in 2026. We still, ironing out everything, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be exciting for the people and the fans.
Are you going in there to put Mike down and like, hey, this is not, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna throw a few punches, like I'm taking this seriously and I'm trying to fight Tyson?
I don't know. I just want to give the fans what they want to see, excitement. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be an exciting event.
But compared with Crawford, that Tyson event feels almost secondary. You can see Floyd's entire attitude shift whenever Crawford enters the conversation. Suddenly, the entertainer disappears. The Money Mayweather character fades away, and what remains is Floyd Mayweather Jr., the fighter who retired with a 50-0 record and has reportedly been considering a professional return for some time. Floyd understands what a victory over Crawford at this stage of his life would mean. It could end the arguments and strengthen his claim to greatness forever. Crawford understands the other side as well. Defeating Floyd, even an older version of him, would place Bud's name among the most important figures in boxing history. This is bigger than a payday. Crawford knows exactly how talented Floyd really is.
So come on, you don't bring up Muhammad Ali name. You don't bring up Mike Tyson name. You always bring up Floyd Mayweather name.
Now listen, we're talking about Floyd, and listen, we all gotta believe we're the greatest of all times, right? We all gotta believe that, but we all know Muhammad Ali is the greatest of all time.
If you could have fought any fighter in your life, any weight, any era, who would you have picked that you would have liked to fight the most?
Floyd Mayweather. So we're in there, we're fighting low here.
After the Canelo victory, plenty of people believe Crawford had reached the perfect moment to walk away. There seemed to be little left for him to prove. He was ranked pound for pound at the top, and he had defeated a naturally bigger opponent in a fight many believed he couldn't win. From a legacy standpoint, his career already looked complete.
Like Floyd's career, like him coming up in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight. And that's what led him to be so great, because he fought the most champions, beat the most champions, got the most money for beating the most champions. So it's just like, man, he had this guy, back to back to fight.
Yet Crawford decided to pursue an even bigger challenge. He wants Floyd because he wants to settle the discussion once and for all. He doesn't want people looking back and saying he was great but never faced Mayweather. He isn't interested in endless comparisons. He wants the final answer that comes from beating the man who ruled the sport across 2 different decades.
Crawford had the ability to fight backwards and stay composed, good defense, hands was always up, countering everything that Canelo was throwing at him. He was just a little more active fight. Canelo did hit him to the body, but it was pretty much all Terence Crawford.
I think some of what we saw from Canelo is what he has to resort to now to fight. Maybe he's dealt with some injuries to where he's not as mobile. It's just the pattern that he's put himself in for the last 6 to 8 fights. That same pattern is why Bivol was able to get him.
He did not allow Canelo to get inside, man. As soon as Canelo would get into that certain range, he would jab him. We didn't see any lateral moves where he would throw, push off to the side, as we used to see Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo was almost smothering his shot because he couldn't stay at range with him. And Terence Crawford runs off counter combinations. It would be a wider margin if they...
There's another reason as well. Crawford is a true competitor, one of the fighters still willing to chase difficult challenges instead of choosing the safest available path. Even when those choices bring criticism, he keeps moving forward. And yes, criticism is coming. Some fans are asking why he would choose an aging Floyd instead of facing Boots Ennis. To be fair, that argument is understandable.
Couldn't have an era to himself. And if you put Terence Crawford against any opponent on Floyd's resume, who do you have favorite? Terence Crawford or one of Floyd's opponents?
Why does Ron keep mentioning another?
No, I'm asking the question first. Do we got Terence Bud Crawford beating everybody on Floyd's resume?
For years, fans, fighters, and boxing analysts have argued that Ennis is the matchup Crawford should take. Boots is viewed as one of the few fighters whose abilities can genuinely create an intriguing stylistic battle with Crawford. He can switch stances, explode with offense, box intelligently, and remain dangerous from either side.
Thought Jaron Ennis against Terence Crawford is the fight. And that can be at 54, it can be at 60. You know, obviously we've got Lima to take care of first, but that for me is one of the great, crossover fights, because Boots is the changing of the guard guy. And Crawford's the guy that's been there and done it all and just proved, that he's still very much in his prime.
And the demand for that fight isn't coming from fans alone. Boots himself has repeatedly called for a showdown with Crawford. He wants the challenge, he wants the test, and he wants to face the man many consider the defining fighter of this generation. Yet whenever Crawford is questioned about Ennis, he appears to dismiss the idea quickly, saying the matchup doesn't interest him and offers little for his career.
Who they are cancels out each other as far as height. They both switch hitters, lift, and everything. All of that cancels out each other. So they are literally the same people pretty much. The only difference is Crawford done been in a big stage against big fighters so many times. And also with age, he didn't beat up his body, so his age is actually good. He got the grown man strength. He not just grown man strength, but he built on top of that. Like, look at him at 135. He was a little scrawny dude. He wasn't a big dude. Now look at him. He ripped up everything. He's strong. So sure. I feel like he got everything, all the experience, all the knowledge. So I gotta go with
Even so, the calls for a Boots matchup have not disappeared. If anything, the conversation has become louder as Crawford continues moving away from that possibility. It's a fight that makes plenty of sense on paper.
My career, a lot of people like boost this, boost that, boost this. Fighting Boots is a lose-lose situation. I win, they're gonna say, oh, well, he was young, he wasn't ready. He was talented, he was skillful, but you got the experience over him. You got, so much more than this kid that never been tested before. Because we always seen him win and fly in colors. A fashionate way, to where we say, oh man, he's cold, he's skillful, but he's never been in the ring with nobody to test him. So me fighting Boots would be like, okay, well, you beat Boots. It's not a mega fight. It's gonna sell a little bit because of your name and what you.
Then there is another major contender, Vergil Ortiz Jr. Ortiz recently delivered a huge performance and quickly turned his attention toward Crawford afterward. Oscar De La Hoya has been heavily promoting the possibility, presenting Ortiz as a serious threat and calling the potential showdown the biggest fight available at 154 pounds.
Makes a whole lot of sense, and the fight that stylistically would be, oh my goodness, is a fight between Terence Crawford and Jaron Boots Ennis.
I don't think I think that's going backwards for Terence.
To that point, Jaron doesn't have the kind of accolades. He doesn't sell to the mass and all these. So this fight was perfect timing for both these guys.
A prime fighter against a prime legend is the kind of matchup hardcore boxing fans dream about. But here's the reality. Crawford has already beaten an undisputed Spence and has already defeated Canelo. He doesn't necessarily need to chase a fighter like Ortiz to prove how good he is. This possible Floyd fight is about something bigger than pure competition. If Crawford fights Boots, people will call it an excellent matchup. If he fights Ortiz, fans will say it's a strong fight. But if he faces Floyd, the boxing world could still be debating it 30 years from now.
Look, I'm here to fight the best. I don't care who it is. It can be Boots next, it can be Spence next, it could be Crawford next, if he's still willing to do it. Because that's a fight that I've been calling for a while. I think that's a great fight to make happen still. And we're just gonna keep doing what I do best. And that's just being me.
This is where the matchup becomes especially fascinating. Terence Crawford is the bigger man. He's younger, more active, and arguably carries more power. But the greatest challenge in fighting Floyd Mayweather was never simply finding a way to hurt him. The real challenge was landing clean shots in the first place. Crawford could potentially take control early, or Floyd could turn the entire contest into a defensive chess match and frustrate the younger fighter.
Like, if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff.
But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, then I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time.
Oh, yes.
That makes a difference.
During the press conference, the contrast between both men was impossible to miss. Floyd kept returning to subjects like legacy, money, and respect. Crawford focused more on competition, difficult challenges, and proving himself against the very best.
Everybody. That boy, man, that's the GOAT, man. That boy bad. On defense, like catch, bam, 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 bam. Man, that boy bad. Floyd had the best defense in boxing history. Hitting you with shots that you don't see, that's where Floyd mastered. You know, hit and not get hit. A lot of people, they give him credit now, but they didn't give him credit when he beat.
And that's everything for today's video. If you enjoyed the discussion, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of our future uploads. Be sure to leave your opinion in the comments as well. Stay tuned for more, and we'll see you in the next video.